Now, you know, we're all very excited about the opening of your new film, The Scout, and I know you're probably doing a lot of traveling to promote the film.
Well, I got to tell you something. This is really an interesting story. You know, it's actually a relationship movie, but it's set in the world of baseball.
Right.
And given that, coming in from Los Angeles last night, I stopped in Minneapolis to visit a sick little boy in the hospital.
Is that right?
Yes, you
Well,
know,
good for you.
in the tradition of that.
That's a very nice thing to have done.
Well, anyway, I brought Entertainment Tonight with me, but you know, not that I didn't do it for that reason, but you know, why travel alone?
Exactly.
You know, right. So I went to visit him, and I went up to his room, and I mean, this little kid, I sat on the end of his bed. Let's call him Billy.
All right.
That's his real name.
Oh, no.
I promised him anonymity.
You wouldn't divulge it? Yeah, well.
All right, let's call him Eddie.
All right, so it's Eddie. Okay.
So I sat on the edge of the bed with little Eddie, and you know, he had tubes and wires. I mean, you know, it's
heartbreaking.
Right.
Yes.
I didn't even think he would speak. He says to me after about 5 minutes, he says, "Mr. Brooks, do you think The Scout will be the #1 movie this weekend?"
Oh.
And you know, like Babe Ruth, I just answered. I just said yes.
Reflex.
Just blurted it
Yes,
out.
sure, I understand.
Now, I don't know anything about medicine. Things started to happen. One needle went from like there, like this, went from 0 to an 8.
Yeah. Out of the red to the green, that kind of thing?
It didn't have any colors, but it went to a high number.
I'm sorry.
A doctor ran in
Forgive me for trying to help.
Doctor ran in. That's what his mother said. The doctor ran in with a grin. Everything started to, you know.
Oh, my.
You know, in retrospect, I don't think yes was a sufficient answer. What I think I like to have told him was, you know, well, we didn't really have trailers in the theaters in time, and, you know, a woman at the studio was fired in charge of advertising, and the awareness was low. But I'm not going to load that crap on a sick little kid,
no,
you know.
That's not his
But
problem.
anyway, the point is, magic happened. Now, David, you have a wonderful audience, and I don't want to put any burden on this audience. But I want to say something. You go, and you make The Scout the #1 movie this weekend. And Eddie, maybe Eddie goes home in a year. And you go see that Meryl Streep movie, This Kid's Dead on Tuesday.
Albert Brooks, ladies and gentlemen, he's a wonderful human being, isn't he? That dog, now, Albert, is that your dog?
This is my dog, David. This is Peppy.
Peppy. Peppy couldn't be more polite. He came right over and sat right down.
Well, here's the thing. You know, yes, I have a movie that opens up on Christmas Day in New York and Los Angeles, and every guest that you have, they come out and they plug. And, you know, obviously I want people to see the movie. I know they'll love it, but I wanted to entertain your audience.
Well, that's very generous of you, very thoughtful.
So,
and not a minute too soon.
I was watching backstage, yes. You are the originator, obviously, of the Stupid Pet Tricks.
That's right.
And I brought Peppy from Los Angeles, and what Peppy is going to do is...
Peppy's a good-looking animal. What kind of dog is Peppy?
I don't know. It's...
Some kind of spaniel?
It's part spaniel. It's actually, I think he's 1/10 kangaroo.
Oh, see, that's some kangaroo blood
I
in
only
him.
think that because he's got too much skin right here. But anyway, the point is, this is not a stupid pet trick.
Oh,
This
really?
is, if this works, and it should, because he did it in the hotel today, this is the most phenomenal trick that you will ever see.
Oh, great. Can I help? Do we need anything?
I need you to help. First of
Now,
all,
you have
while
some
I
stuff
sit
over here. Is
Yeah,
that what we're gonna do?
I have to set it up. So
Okay.
what I want you to do is, I want you to hold the leash, but very lightly, because when I tell him to do what he's going to do, he's got to go.
I don't want him dragging me down Broadway.
All right, okay. Peppy, stay. Now I'm going to set this up.
All right. Now, do I stay as well?
No, you sit.
I sit. Oh,
You
okay.
sit.
I sit.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, this has to be, I have 3 tables here, and I'll explain to you as I set it up. I have to set it up to the inch, or it confuses him.
Yeah.
And,
Is that precise, is it, Albert?
well, 2 inches.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I have a little table with a book on it.
Table with a book.
All right? I have a table with a glass of water.
Table with a glass of water.
Table with a glass of water.
Okay. No. Wait, whoa.
What?
That,
What?
I'm sorry. Don't make it so hard. Just trying to help.
Dog is disgusting.
you know, the dog's not into that kind of comedy.
All right. Okay. Well, he certainly wouldn't be alone, would he?
And a table with a telephone. Now, what Pepe is going to do, David, it's one of the most phenomenal things. On command,
Right.
Pepe will go to that table. He will open the book. He will start to read.
Open the book with his snout, with his
With
paws.
Well, what do you think? A foot? Yes, with his.
Yeah.
Yes, with his snout. We don't call it that, though. I'm sorry. With his face. He opens the book
with his face. Yeah.
He will start to
Start to
read.
read, yeah.
Right. I will ring this bell. Well, I don't want to confuse him. That was not the real one. I know. And he will. That is a signal for him to close the book.
Closes the book.
And he will mark the page, hence the dog-eared. That's how it got
Oh, is
the
that how?
expression.
I've never known that.
Yes.
Mark it with a dog.
Yes.
I'll be
He'll
darned. You learn
mark the
something new
page.
every day.
He'll go to the phone, but he'll clear his throat by having a little bit of water.
Oh, so he stops at the middle station.
He'll stop at the middle station. He'll
Have some water.
a little bit of water. He will pick up the phone, and he will talk on the phone.
Picks it up with his snout. Now I notice,
Just
Albert.
a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I told you this wouldn't happen. I can't control him.
I notice you have a rotary phone, and is that specially designed for the trick?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I used to do this trick with a dial phone, but he knows how to dial. And in Los Angeles last month, I got a phone bill for $1,140.
Oh, my God.
And I'm telling you, it was $100 for me, and it was $1,000 for him.
Yeah.
He calls London. He can call all over the world. So he can't. I use the.
I wouldn't mind getting a call from him.
He'll call
I'll
you
give
later.
you my number.
Right. Give me your number. He'll call you later. He's not good with the new area codes. He
No,
knows 212. That's it. But anyway, that's for my protection for my phone bill because
Okay.
he can't
All right, good.
dial that
All
because
right.
he gets his nose caught in the hole.
I understand, sure.
All right.
I've
So
had that happen
anyway,
to myself.
but you'll hear he actually talks. I tried an experiment in the hotel this afternoon. I dialed room service and let him talk, and I couldn't understand exactly what he was saying,
Yeah.
but I swear to God, in 20 minutes, they brought up an omelet and a steak. So he.
That's
yeah,
great.
right. Okay.
All right, let's begin now.
I just have to have a little glass of water.
Okay. I'm still holding the lead here,
Yeah. Now
Albert.
don't hold it tight
No,
because
it's
he
not.
has to go.
Yeah, very loose.
Okay. Pepe, you ready?
Here we go.
Okay. Pepe, read the book.
Read the book.
Okay. He's just, he's thinking about it, just like we all do when we read. Read that book, Pepe.
Maybe he read it already in the hotel.
That's it. Make fun of him, David.
I'm sorry. Okay, Pepe, go ahead.
Like
Read
the dog
book.
doesn't know. Read the book.
Read the book.
Okay. Now,
All right,
here's
now.
what I have to do. I don't, I love animals, and I wouldn't have brought a dog all the way from Los Angeles if I didn't, but I'm now going to have, if he doesn't do it, he needs to be spoken to in a tough manner. Just like kids.
It's like he's going to sleep, like many of our viewers.
Pepe, sit up. Sit down. Sit. Sit. Read that book.
He's ready to go. There you go. Wait, now, do I release him?
No,
Do I-
don't release him.
All right.
Pepe was going to read the book.
Yeah.
All right, let's screw the book. Let's try
right.
the phone. Pepe, answer the phone. Answer the phone. Okay. Answer
Paul,
the
will
phone.
you get the phone?
Let me just show him. Let me show him what to do. I'll show him what to do, and he'll copy me. Pepe, hello. It's the pound, Pepe. You have some space there for you? I see. Really? You still use gas over there?
Oh!
I'm just trying to get him to do the trick. You know, I've been embarrassed ever since my last visit with
Oh,
you.
please, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
There's no need for you to be embarrassed. It was
Well, let
fine.
me just remind the audience if they don't know. You know, besides comedy, what I love to do most is train animals. And
You're like a Rudd Weatherwax. You're another Rudd Weatherwax in my book.
I'm in a lawsuit now with Siegfried and Roy because, well, it's not an animal-based lawsuit.
Well, I'll bet it is.
Yeah.
In a certain sense, I'll bet it is.
It's just Siegfried. I don't have a problem with Roy. But anyway, last time I was out here, I flew across America with my dog.
Your dog.
My dog.
Very cute.
Very cute. And the dog is a phenomenal animal. And, you know, we had all these tricks set up for him. He was going to read a book and answer the telephone.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you remembered that.
Stupid pet trick kind
But
of
it wasn't stupid.
No,
it was real.
very,
it was
very-
real.
yeah.
Right. And, you know, he did nothing. He just laid here the whole time.
What was the dog's name?
Buddy.
Buddy, that's
Yeah.
right, sure.
That's right. What do you think? I don't remember my own
Well, no,
dog?
I didn't remember.
Don't test me because I won't fail at it. Yeah, right. So anyway, the dog did nothing. Now I got back to the hotel and I called my vet in Los Angeles and I was really upset. And the vet said, "You can't fly 3,000 miles with an animal and expect them to perform right away because they need more than they have what's called a dog jet lag."
I'm sorry, what was that term again, Albert?
It's a dog. Well, I know the initials. It's DJL, but I think it's dog jet lag.
Yeah.
Because they don't fly in the comfortable thing. They're in the belly of the plane where
Right.
it's cold and with the luggage.
Sure.
And he says that the dog needed 24 hours just to acclimate himself to the.
Now, had you flown in like the day of? Was that your
Yes,
mistake? Oh, that's
yeah,
your
that
mistake.
was a mistake.
That's your mistake.
And sure enough, he's right, because the next morning, the dog's ordering room service. And, you know, you know what's great about the dog? He not only gets the paper, he'll get me just the style section.
Is that right?
It's a while. Okay, so, you know, I have other animals that that I'm very proud of, and I'm not making the same mistake again.
Well, you brought more animals tonight. That's
No,
great.
but
Huh?
that's just it. I'm not going to make the same mistake. No, wait. No, you're going to be happy. I have a bird, a parrot, Polly. You know, the funny thing about me is I can train them, but I can't name them well. I'm like an idiot savant.
Polly
I
is good.
can't. Well, it's
Polly's
not, you know, it's not original. Let me show you the picture of Polly. You show the audience
All right,
that.
hold on. Beautiful.
Isn't she?
Lovely.
Isn't she beautiful?
Yeah. Is that a parrot or is that a?
That's a parrot.
Looks like it might be a cockatoo.
No. That's a parrot.
That's Polly right there. How old? I know.
That's 80% parrot and 20% cockatoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get to be old. They grow to a nice old age, like 30, 40, 50 years old. Don't they?
Well-
They outlive their owners sometimes.
I'm not going to keep it that long, but yeah.
What will you do with it, Albert?
I get sick of things, David. I don't know what I'll do with it.
You have the restless mind.
But anyway, so I'm not going to, you know, I'll never make the same mistake again. So tonight, I have Polly on the phone in Los Angeles.
What? Really?
Yes. And we're going to talk to the bird that way.
Because the parrot's
Well, I can't make the same mistake, and I'm not going to put a bird in the belly.
parrot
of the
is
plane.
relaxed, comfortable, well
That's
rested.
right. And let me tell you how close. The parrot knows about 1,700 words. We are 4 words short of the Guinness Book, they told me. So,
Yeah. 1,700.
right. It's a boy, by the way. I referred to her as her because all
Well,
birds.
Polly's not a good name for a boy.
Well, that's what I told you. I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
I say Polly is not a,
Polly.
yeah,
Yeah.
very sensitive. He flew in the same day of this show, so he has the same problem.
Well, you can talk to my vet. We'll clear that up. But so anyway, the bird should be on the phone.
Okay.
And by the way,
Yeah.
I'm not just saying this
No, I
because
know.
I'm on your show.
Sure.
He is a huge fan. No, I mean it.
Okay, just
Okay.
Is this
No,
good?
he can hear
Is
me.
that good?
Yeah. Polly, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Wow.
Okay.
Right off the bat.
All right. Polly, we are right now on live national television.
So,
You know, he's not impressed by a lot of stuff, but he loves you. Polly, say hello to David Letterman.
That's the Nightline guy?
No. That's Channel 2.
The one with the chin?
No, not the chin. Channel 2.
I'm not sure who it is.
Yes, it is. You love him. All right, forget that.
Yeah.
Polly, let the audience inside the mind of a bird. Tell them, for example, what are you doing right now?
What the hell do you think I'm doing? I'm doing what I always do. I'm standing on this dirty stick, banging my head against the cage.
Okay. What can I say there?
Have an attitude.
Yeah, I know.
Polly.
Polly, why don't you play with that expensive toy I bought you?
The expensive toy fell in the crap.
All right.
Thank God we didn't pay to fly him out.
Yeah, thank God for that. Yeah. Well, you know, I'll get you another toy, Polly. Don't worry.
Oh, by the way, your brother was here earlier. He took all your furniture.
What? Wait a minute. What are you talking about, my brother? That's impossible.
Some guy was here. He took the furniture. He said he was your brother.
Well, my brother's in Alaska now. He's not even in Los Angeles. What did he look like?
A small Chinese guy.
How can how could a Chinese guy be my brother, Polly?
You think I know what people look like? How well do you think I see? I got an eye the size of a pin stuck in my ear. Hell, everybody looks Chinese to me.
All right. I wish you wouldn't let people in the house that you don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a dog.
No, I know you're not a dog.
Oh, by the way,
yeah.
I'm worried about something.
Yeah?
If the color of my poop is dark, should I be concerned?
I'm not a vet, Polly. I don't know anything about poop color. I'm sorry.
Right. So what good are you?
All right. Well, look, I can tell you're in a bad mood. So what are your plans for the rest of the evening?
My plans?
Yeah.
I plan to hang myself on the bed.
All right. Polly, I want you to say good night to David Letterman.
Stop telling me what to do. I'm not your pet.
All right, fine.
Good night, Polly.
He's
Thank
an
you.
angry bird.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Okay.
You look good. I'm assuming things have been going well. How have things been going?
Listen, I want to stop this. I need, if you don't mind, I need to use your show for my own benefit tonight.
Well, sure.
No,
Whatever you need, sure.
look, I'm gonna be, I'm always honest with you, so let me be honest.
All right. I appreciate that.
I've been seeing a psychologist for a while, and I've had, some problems sleeping and that, and she said to me the most interesting thing. She said, your whole life,
Right.
all you've ever done is you've gotten laughs. From your, childhood onward, all people have done is laugh. They've laughed, and she thought, and I thought she was right, that this is really having a bad effect on me.
Really?
Well, I mean, I don't act like a serious person, and people don't take me seriously. And what she said was, she said, if you could go on a Letterman show.
Right.
Well, she didn't say Letterman, but I'm here.
That's the important thing. Yes.
Right.
No offense taken.
She said, if you could go on a Letterman
Right.
show and have a segment that's serious for once in your
serious
life,
segment.
a serious segment with questions and answers where people don't laugh. She said she thought that would be it. I wouldn't even have to see her anymore.
Right, but I'm not sure people would watch that.
Well, it's not week after week,
So, but there's a certain expectation of you because you are very funny. And by the way, Albert, it's a gift.
David, I'm trying to get better. So if you will help,
I don't want to stand in the way of that.
If you will help me, and the audience will help me, and I know this is a surprise for you.
Yes, it is.
I prepared some different questions, and I gave your screener.
All right.
And they're not, there's nothing funny about them. But
okay.
just to have a few minutes like this, and I'll get the tape, and I'll be able to watch it, I think it would be immensely helpful.
Okay.
So let's try this. I hope it works.
Okay. So I just ask you this question here, just.
I have 3 questions there, and it's real, and it just.
But you want this conversational?
Well, the way you would do it for anybody,
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. Albert, I understand you had a serious health problem, a health scare last Thanksgiving. Health scare. What happened?
Yeah, I thought I had skin cancer.
Oh my God. Is it? You really shouldn't be laughing at that.
David.
I don't know what the problem is.
This is going to screw me up for years.
All right.
I'll tell you. Anyway,
I'm going to ask the question again?
No, I think we heard the question.
Okay.
I was carving the Thanksgiving. I had 12 people over, and I'm carving it. The skin of the turkey gets onto my skin.
I see.
And, I didn't know it. We're all laughing and joking, and I look down, and that's like third stage melanoma. And fortunately, with dialing 911, it fell off, and then...
Well, it has a happy outcome, though.
Yeah. Let's go on to the...
Next question?
Yeah, next question.
Albert, I understand you recently took a bad fall off of a ladder. Are you okay?
Well...
Took a bad fall off a ladder.
Okay. I should have hired someone to do this, but I was actually painting part of my roof because it's a fire retardant paint.
Right.
And I didn't, have the proper, anyway, that's not the story. I was like 12 feet up. Now, David, I love roses, and I have these rose bushes in my home. I don't know if you're familiar with
Never been to your home, no.
No, not my home.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Fine with me. Anyway.
I only want to help.
Anyway, I fell 15 feet into. Do you know what the South African rose is? No. All right. It's huge. It's like 14 inches, a big bloom, lots of thorns. I fell face down on one of them, like this, and I had a rose in my mouth. The flower was here, and the thorns were there, and this big stem coming out, and I'm panicked.
Yeah.
And I'm going, I got to get to the emergency hospital. I could lose my larynx if I. But then I had like second thoughts because I'm thinking this is odd. I don't want to, have a Richard Gere gerbil thing going on. And anyway, I decided to go to the hospital, and thank God I did, because he said that one of the thorns was like a half an inch from my trachea. But sure enough, David, I'm eating dinner 2 weeks later in a restaurant in Hollywood. I hear the waiter whispering to somebody. Yeah. That's the guy that went down on the rose. Boy, this is a miserable failure.
I think it's working quite nicely.
Yeah, I don't want to do any more questions.
Let's go on to number 3.
No, they're not. It's not working.
No, let's just try number 3.
They're not helping me.
No, we have one more. We have some time. Question number 3. I heard you recently got into some trouble down in Tijuana. What happened? Tijuana, border town south of San Diego.
Well, I had never been there before, and I didn't know that. I thought you could just see one of those donkey sex shows. I didn't know you had to be a participant. Well, I'm not. Wait a minute. I'm not. I'm confusing you. I didn't mean a participant in the show. They wanted me for the cleanup. So I don't really think it's worth talking about. But I'll tell you, I sense there's a few people in the audience that understand that what I'm trying to do tonight. So for those people, regarding this last question, if you go to donkeysexshow.com and click on my picture, you'll get the whole story.
They have a website.
Yeah. This is an emotional evening for me.
Really?
Well, I've had a knot in my stomach all day because obviously this will be the last David Letterman show I will ever do. And
well, Albert, what's the matter? Are you? I hope you're not ill.
Ill?
Yes, you're not ill, are you?
No, this is your last week.
For the show?
Yeah, aren't you off on Friday forever?
No. I have another 2 or 3 years.
No. No.
What do you mean?
Well, the William Morris Agency said, go now, it's his last week. And I'm sure I read this. I'm sure I read this in page 6.
I don't think it's true. I mean, I think we're going to be here another 2 or 3 years.
Oh, man.
Well, that's good. It should make you feel good.
No, not tonight. It screws me up.
What?
I had prepared. I'm in trouble.
What's the matter?
Well, I had prepared an emotional goodbye, but now it's useless. I can't do it.
You want? No, wait a minute. What was it? What were you thinking
Well,
about?
I mean, to me, the most powerful moment in television in the last 35 years is when Bette Midler sang goodbye to Johnny Carson.
That was beautiful.
And
that was beautiful.
I had written something as my goodbye, but you're not leaving, so it's pretty stupid to do.
No. Let's do it. You know why? It may be appropriate because I have the feeling these people will probably never see me again.
All right. Well, I mean, look, in order for it to work, I'm going to have to ask the audience here to imagine that this is his last week.
Yeah.
And maybe even that tonight's his last night. It'll make it even more powerful.
Uh-huh.
And you can imagine that,
All
can't
right.
you?
I'll probably tear up a little.
All right. I don't know, David.
It's going to be great, and I want to tell you something. I appreciate you thinking of me, even though it's a mistake.
I'm just wondering how I get that kind of information.
Yeah, I don't know. What? All right. Are you with the William Morris Agency?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't help you with
They
that.
might have a client they want in here. Now I'm just thinking. Okay.
Oh, I see.
All right.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is, may I hold your hand while I sing to you?
Yeah. All right. This is a little. I mean, I think it'll be all right, but it's a little odd.
Oh, Dave. You got your Brokeback Mountain.
It's fine. Everything's
all
fine. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, Paul, can you give me a little thanks for the memory?
Sure.
Thanks. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah. Now, you have to imagine that he's through. Thanks for the memory, the comedy you gave, a simple guy named Dave who made the humans do those tricks and animals behave. Thank you so much. You were there when we needed you. You're so damn funny. You're not even a Jew. Always dressed in a tie and coat. If it wasn't for you, who would know? Will it float? So, thanks for the memory. The bits you did with your mom.
Yeah.
That deli guy who bombs. I never liked him, David. The top 10 list, Drew Barrymore's breasts. Farrah Fawcett gone wrong. Thank you so much.
Oh.
I'm gonna miss it.
Thank you, Albert. Wow.
But seriously, as you know, I don't come here just to plug. I've always treated this show as I try to do original, we generally have two segments, and I try to do some original comedy in the first segment.
Yeah.
And so I have some good news and bad news. But, I knew I was doing this show for the last 7 weeks, and I was preparing something. And I thought what I'd do, because, there's a lot of young people in the audience, I've got 40 years of these kind of appearances with Carson and everything. And, you know, and I thought I would go into my catalog and pick out something
Classic.
classic.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was excited. And, you know, I had even forgotten a lot of the stuff.
Sure.
Brilliant stuff. So 6 weeks ago, David, I get a call from my lawyer. And he says to me, the third biggest comedian in China, a gentleman named Ho Chow, is offering to buy up my entire catalog.
Wow.
Everything.
That's
Everything
that's
I've-
unheard of, isn't it?
It's unheard of. I mean, let me tell you something. You know, I don't know if you've had this experience before. I've had this lawyer for 20 years. I was insulted. I said, you know, you don't know me. I mean, that's insulting. I said, you don't know me by now?
Yeah.
I said, that's my legacy.
Right.
How dare you? I said, you know, what am I going to leave my kids? I said, what do they want, a car? I said, you know, I hung up on him. And I was thinking about, you know, do I get another lawyer? Because,
Right.
you know, for someone that works with you to not know you. He called back, he apologized. He told me the number. And I said, you know, screw the kids. Sell all of that crap, get it out, it's fine.
You sold all of your material.
I sold everything.
The classic stuff, the signature pieces.
I
to
sold everything.
The number 3rd comedian in China. Well, now, and you got a nice number for it, obviously.
Oh, David.
Yeah.
But now wait, here's the thing. So I'm not allowed to do anything.
Right.
And you know,
But let me ask you a question.
yeah.
What if it had been, this was the number 3.
Yeah.
What if it had been the number 1 comic in China?
I wish I had gotten that offer.
Yeah.
You know, once I decided to sell out, now I really, you know, I said the same thing. It was too late.
Yeah.
I made the deal, and then I said, what about the number 1 guy?
Yeah.
But anyway, here's the thing. So I have to be careful. I'm not allowed to do anything from the past. I don't think this show doesn't go to China, does it?
No, I don't think so,
Okay.
no.
But, you know, they got YouTube
Sure,
and everything.
yeah.
So I have to be careful. And I really can't. I have to measure how funny I am tonight.
I see.
It's not a joke. If I'm too funny, I go into litigation. So. But, David, there were 3 things he didn't buy.
Uh-huh. What do you have there?
Well, one, I thought he was crazy. I thought it was good. Let me see. What's the one thing you don't want to hear after giving oral sex to Willie Nelson?
Oh, I think I know this joke.
I'm not Willie Nelson.
I'm not Willie
yeah,
Nelson.
Right.
Yeah. That was yours? That was yours.
He says to me, Ho says to me, they don't know Willie Nelson in China. I said, what, you can't substitute an old, ugly Chinese singer?
Yeah, right.
It works with any.
No wonder he's
Yeah.
number 3. The guy.
The other thing was a very funny bit on Chinese food. He says, we just call it food. It doesn't work. David, before I go,
sure,
do you mind if I would do something?
No, please,
Because
go
I
ahead.
know in the mass world of media, things don't get attention unless
Right.
they go viral.
Right.
Would you mind if I hold this up and kiss you on the lips? Please.
You know, I have a
What?
I have a cold.
But David, listen, I can't continue right now because.
What's the matter?
Okay. Jeez. I am racked with guilt. I feel so bad, and this. Let me explain. People know how these shows work. You book the show, a producer calls you, they ask you what you want to talk about, and then Dave has the questions there. I mean, they know it's not all made up. Right?
It's an outline.
Yeah. So anyway, your producer called me 2 weeks ago, and at this time, I'm working on a second novel. I've been in a dark room. I have nothing. I don't go outside of the room. And I couldn't say that because, I'm coming to New York.
You're supposed to have funny stories.
Well, yeah, so I made up a couple of stories, and I forgot all about it. And then I got here to New York, and the last 2 nights I haven't slept because I'm guilty. And, my wife, I said, I think I just got to tell him that it's a lie. And she said, don't be stupid. People don't know when Alec Baldwin comes on if he's lying. What do you care?
Yeah. Well, that's right.
That's right. But that's not who I am. So so it's all made up.
You've just called attention to something that's not a problem.
Well, I couldn't sleep.
So you're concerned that what you're about to tell me by way of these humorous anecdotes is all a lie.
It's all a lie, but I feel better because I at least was honest enough to tell you.
Well, I admire that. Okay. I really do.
All right.
But now, going forward, how can I help this?
Let's talk about it anyway. It's all I got.
So we just go on with the sheet?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I just ask you the question.
Yeah, like a show.
And then what follows is completely untrue.
Well, that's not...
Doesn't make any difference, does
No,
it?
just ask me the question.
Albert, I understand you just purchased a gun.
Yes. This is a crazy story. Do you own a gun?
No, I don't own a gun.
Well, I always told people I did, and I didn't, and I thought it was time to change that because, I think they can sense if you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
So
why would you tell them that you did own a gun?
I don't want them bothering me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I used to have, dogs when I didn't have one either. I just kind of, So anyway, I decided it was time, and only a few Walmarts still sell them. There was one about 90 miles from my house. So I went there, and it was a beautiful store, large. They're all nice stores. And in the back, they had these hunting rifles. Oh. And, you feel them just to see how it feels in the shoulder and everything. This is the last place in the world you would think they'd be loaded.
Yeah.
So
the hunting rifles at Walmart actually had live ammunition in them.
In this one, it did, yeah.
Wow.
And so I'm aiming, and I shot a guy.
Shot a guy.
Yeah, I would say about 200 yards away, he was in the sock aisle. And it was a good gun. I mean, it was straight, boom,
Got a guy in the sock aisle.
Yeah, and I was panicked, David.
Yeah.
I mean, it went right through his shoulder, and I ran over there, and thank God, there were socks. I could put stuff in his arm.
Yeah.
And he was losing consciousness.
Ooh.
But thank God, how things work out. He was a fan.
Oh, that's nice.
Right. And I think the last thing he said before he passed out, he said, "I loved you in Drive. You got robbed at the Oscars." I thought
that's nice.
That was so nice.
Yeah.
And then I got out of there because I didn't want to know. I paid for the socks.
Yeah. Oh, that was a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Wow. That was great. By the way, you mentioned Alec Baldwin earlier. That's funnier than anything Alec Baldwin has ever come up with.
Yeah. At least that.
Yeah. All right, now, I understand you have another phony story?
Just ask me the questions.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Well, I understand you're just back from the Amazon.
Yes. This is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know about you, I'm a nature show lover.
Oh.
So one night I'm watching these natures, and I'm watching the thing of the anaconda, which is like, there's 25, it's just gigantic snake, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I'm a spur-of-the-moment guy, and I woke up in the morning, and I said to my wife, let's go see that big snake.
And now, I've never met your wife, but is this the kind of thing she's come to expect from you?
Yes, and she said, not now,
I see.
I've got a headache.
Oh, well,
But
that's
I said, no, literally. I said, let's just do this.
Yeah.
We're that kind of people. We're spur-of-the-moment people. So I went on Expedia, and I looked up, and, they had a few hotels at the Amazon. One, they forgot, the Amazon Arms, I think it was called, or something. And it looked all right, but every comment had malaria in it. So.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that. You got to get shots.
Oh, I take shots no matter, even if I don't go anywhere.
Really? Well, sure, yeah.
David, you're stupid not to get a malaria shot every couple of weeks.
Every couple of weeks?
What? Right. Well, anyway, so I didn't book, and I said to Kimberly, my wife, I said, let's just go. Let's just be spur of the moment. And she said, it's halfway around the world. I think it's a bad idea. And I said, come on, man, trust me.
You got to live.
So we fly to Lima, Peru. And it's Lima, by the way.
Okay.
I thought it was the bean.
No.
But it isn't.
Lima, Ohio, Lima, Peru.
That's right. But unless you travel, you don't know this stuff.
That's right.
That's right. And then, David, we took I didn't have a plane reservation to get from Lima to the Amazon. Is about a 2,000-mile train ride. It's a horrible, horrible train.
2,000 miles.
It's the opposite of the Orient Express.
Yeah.
I looked it up in a brochure. It's the worst train in the world.
Oh.
So we were not feeling good. The shots weren't really working. And we get to the mouth of the Amazon, and sure enough, this one hotel, everyone is coughing. Everyone, and they had a room that overlooked the parking lot.
Oh.
But you don't want to travel. I said, do you have anything overlooking the river?
Sure. Yeah.
And they said, no, just this. And so we didn't stay there. And then my wife started to get furious, and, you've wasted my time. And I said, that's right, there's other places.
Right.
We walked a half a mile. It looked like, I thought it said Hilton. It literally was the Hell Inn.
Oh. The Hell Inn.
And they were booked. And,
They were booked.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And then there was one place that said $5 a night, but it was a sign at the end of a spear. And my wife said, let's just stay there. And I said, I think it's a tribe.
That would be fine.
I don't want to sacrifice my wife just to get a good night's sleep.
No.
So we got into this huge argument in the middle of the Amazon. We're arguing about, she says, this is the biggest waste of time I've ever had. You're an idiot. And even I think a pygmy asked us to be quiet. We're yelling. And she said, in my whole life, I have never completely wasted 2 weeks. This is absolutely good for nothing. And I said to her, it's a great Letterman story.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Wow.